right, what's going on, everybody? Let's take a look at what's going on here. Yes, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Look at this, guys. Extended trend. Extended trend on the 5-minute chart. All right. Extended trend on the 5-minute chart. So what needs to happen? Well, this has to come all the way back down here to break below the 50 simple moving average so that we can recalculate. Okay. We need to recalculate below the 50 simple moving average on that 5-minute chart in order to continue this thing to the upside. And ooh, wow. Okay, so there we go. So we're getting this massive pullback. Where does this thing want to go? Well, what we are looking at is a retest of this opening range down here. And I am going to take this right here. Okay, here's the 15-minute opening range. Let's open it up here. That's what we're looking at. Okay, so that is what I am looking at retesting, on this pullback here. This is exactly what I wanted. Now, I'm only going to get in one contract in case this thing just decides to take off to the downside. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think what we're going to do is we're going to retest this area here. Now, this does have to close below the 50. So this can't just fire back up. This has to close below here. Is it going to retest this area and then start to go back up, right? Is it going to retest this, or is it going to make it to that beautiful demand zone? I mean, look at it on the 30-minute right there, drop base rally. This is where all the buyers came in here. So, is it going to do something weird where it just doesn't quite hit this area? Is it going to retest that Sunday opening range again? Again, Sunday opening range, very, very powerful. I knew this was going to happen. Look at the readings that we've got here. We had very strong readings, right? On 3-hour CCI above the zero line. 1-hour CCI was like all the way up here. But this collapse here, I think is going to be temporary. I don't think this is going to be, this is probably faking a lot of people out. And I think a lot of people are like, oh man, we're going to have a down day today on the NASDAQ. So we don't quite have the readings anymore for our strategy, right? We need to have all of this above the zero line. But in the context of this thing, what we need, back to the 15, what we need here is we need price to close. Okay, we got 25 seconds here. See, this thing may not reach all the way down. It may not reach that demand zone, and it may start to go off in the other direction. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, boom, we are now recalculated. What's it going to do? Is it going to take this demand zone? We never broke through that. Is it going to make its way all the way back up to the top? Well, I don't know. I don't know. All we can do is form, the opening range here. Golly, maybe this is the zone that it wants, but at this point, you're guessing. It's the zone guessing game, right? Don't know what's going to happen. Don't know what's going to happen. All we can do is, take the strongest looking zone, which is that 15-minute. It's right down there, right down here. That is the zone. This is it right here. I even brought it up a little bit more just in case it kind of blink, it just goes a little bit past there. That's the best I can do. This here, we really need that pullback to take place. We really need it to pull back to this area here. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do from what I see. Now, if this decides to reverse from here and start moving back up and start to, break above the previous day, this is the previous day's opening range. So if it starts to break above the previous day's opening range, we're going to have all the signals that we need, all the conditions that we need to be met for a breakout to the upside, right? We've recalculated the 5-minute chart. So if it takes this zone, great. My plan was to have this pull back exactly the way it did, very rapidly, and just sort of wick into this area and pop out of it safely. One contract, get in, and then take the breakout of the opening range with 4 contracts. That That was my plan. At this point, I don't want to go jumping in, jump in one contract here. It's moving very fast right now. It's moving very fast right now. Don't know what it's going to do, but I don't want to get into playing the guessing game. I picked an area. If it works, great. If not, I have to wait for the strategy to form the opening range. And we've got plenty of time, right? We've got plenty of time. So it looks like we've got until 9:45. It's only 9. Wow. This thing couldn't pull down just a little bit more, right? So that's actually not a bad thing, right? This dotted line here, guys, this red dotted line, that's the previous week's high. Here's the opening range from yesterday. This line here is the previous day's high. Okay, that's previous day's high right there. All right. So look at that. This is today's opening range. Might as well get rid of that. Get rid of that line, put the new one, all right? What we want is we really want this to pull down here into this zone. And I had this drawn out. I could have gotten in one contract in one of these, but again, it's like, hey, how far back is this going to go? We've seen it do this. We've seen it make some rapid movements here, but it looks like it has been wanting this. Maybe we can pull this up, get in one contract, in here somewhere, because if this does reverse, which it looks like it really wants to, okay, we got in there. Let's see if that's what it wants. But that's it. Now, if it does pull back to here, we're going to be safe. Okay, we will be safe if it does pull back to there. And if it does pull back to here, we could get in on another contract for that move up. And it looks like it's starting to reverse from that area. 9:40. We've got 5 minutes left. We really want to see this thing start to form a nice reversal candle here to the upside, in which case we're going to get in three contracts, buy three contracts right at the breakout here, right at the breakout. Came back down to this. Looks like it's retesting this area here, and that is fine. This is what happened last night. Pulled down to here. Right, it pulled down to here and didn't quite make it. I was hoping that this would pull back to this demand zone here. It might still do that. Right? It might still pull back to here. Got a little jumpy there, but hell, it really looked like it was going to reverse. It really looked like it was going to reverse there. All I had to do was be a little more patient and wait. But it's not, it's going to happen. If it's going to pull in here, then, fine, great. If it's going to work and pull back up, we can take off one contract there, right? So it has not. I kind of like that it hasn't broken through this blue line here. This is yesterday's opening range. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. We're trying to figure it out as we go along, using as little risk as possible, but we really want this thing to start reversing. We're going to have a very bearish candle here. Okay, we're going to have a very bearish candle. If this thing starts to swing back around, I think it's going to hit this area here and then start to reverse. Man, that's really the zone that we wanted. I'm really tempted to take one more contract there. And that would be the risk that we would take. And right there, that would be our buy. More. That would be it. That would be it for me. 30 seconds. So 9:45, very bearish candle here, starting to reverse. This is what we want. This is what we want. We want that sucker to completely reverse and didn't quite give us, see that? It didn't quite give us that demand zone. Didn't quite give us that demand zone. 9:45, that's basically right there, right? Really looked like it was going to reverse from these little zones here, but we'll take a chance. We'll take a chance and Let's get rid of that for now. If it gets in, if it gets us in, right? So it got us in. Where's my stop loss? There's the stop loss that we're going to put in to see if this zone is going to work. There's nothing really below that. We're below the Sunday opening range. This is really what we wanted. That is what we wanted. We wanted this drop base rally from last night. We've got two contracts. We're taking a chance on this demand zone. Okay, we're taking the chance on this demand zone here, but you know, it's a demand zone. It is a demand zone. Let's get rid of that line. Wow, ripping through all of it, kind of faking everybody out. That right there. So we've got what we're doing here is we are taking a bit of a bear trap, right? Bit of a bear trap that we're taking here. We want to see a nice reversal of that candle. We don't have the conditions now, right? So these are conditions that are going to be met when this kind of pulls back to the upside. But this is what I was waiting for last night. And let's see if this works out. I would have rather have had this pullback take place when we had strong momentum, right? Now it has kind of completely reversed, but this is where price left the building yesterday. This is where price left the building yesterday. And that right there is the drop base rally right there. And we are below Sunday's opening range. And that's the best that we can do because that's $2. Let's see if we can get a reversal off of this. That is what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. A rapid pullback into that demand zone and then the move up. If it doesn't work, that will be it. I'll be out for today. I'll be out. It's breaking through. It's breaking through. Once again, outside of the strategy. Dang it. Outside of the damn strategy. Not a big, it's not gonna, it's not a huge loss. It's not a huge loss, but it is a loss nonetheless. Man, I really thought that was going to be it. I really thought that was going to be it. Let's see if we can survive this. Hold right back to that Sunday opening range. Dang it. This looks like it's going to really rip to the downside. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Thought this was going to be a exciting. Once again, the bear trap does not working for us, right? Bear trap not working for us. So only two contracts there. Really wanted to see a reversal. Dang it, man. That really stung. That really stung. Again, look at those readings. Look at those readings. We had everything pre-market. We had everything pre-market, and this just ripped way too hard to the downside. I thought for sure in the middle of the night when this was coming down here, it was going to hit this and then move back up, but it did not do that. It did not do that. So we might have a down day now. We might have a down day now. That kind of set me back. So on the next spectacular setup in order to get this thing. I've got 9 days left to get this done by the end of the month. Looking for that upward move with all conditions met. 3 hour CCI above, above positive 100, very strong, cycling up, bullish candle forming the opening range, right? We took a shot, it didn't work. Okay, it's only $285. It is a scratch on the knee, right? Scratch on the knee. CCI has got to be above the zero line. And we had it, man. It was just starting to reverse from here. You saw that price action happening there. Took a shot at that, but only a $2 loss against the strategy, right? It's like these opportunities come along that are, slightly outside of the strategy, and it just never seems to work out. But I keep doing it because it makes logical sense. It makes sense to, we had the extended trend on the 5-minute chart. You saw that right here, right? Extended trend, 5-minute chart. It's going to pull into It's going to pull into this, this demand zone down here. What are we heading for? At this point, it's like, well, we're not going to play the demand zone guessing game. You see what happens when you play the demand zone guessing game. Is it this demand zone? Is it this one? 1 hour drop base rally here. Well, I mean, no, it's a formation, but so perhaps it's heading for this. What is this? Go to the 30-minute. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so 30-minute drop base rally right here is what it's heading for. Let's see. 23,256. Oh no, it already ripped through that. That's on delay. Yeah, that was that up there. Okay. On delayed data on TradingView. Okay, so it ripped through all of those zones. Let's get rid of it. Sunday opening range. We'll get rid of that. You better believe I'll be trading Sunday opening range this weekend. Very strong readings now. Again, we can't get the 3-hour chart on Topstep. We only have the 4-hour chart, but 4-hour below negative 100, cycling down. 1 hour below 200, below negative 200, still in that corrective phase to the upside, right? But our bonus component here, gosh, it's just ripped to the downside and never came back. And now we've got this drop base drop right here. Drop base drop right there. Make it red. That's what we're looking at on the 5. That's what it looks like on the 15. Well, that was a shocker. That was a shocker. Too many people buying the breakout to the downside there. So no worries. I mean, I had to take that. I had to take that shot on that 30-minute demand zone because yesterday that was right inside of the Sunday opening range, and it is where a massive amount of people started coming in the market. A lot of buyers were there. A lot of buyers were there. But now we've got this setup to the downside now. I mean, we could take a retest. Right? We could take a retest of that supply zone there. We could take a retest of that supply zone because we've got 4-hour CCI right here below negative 100, cycling down. 4-hour chart. Not worrying about the trend for now. Looks like we just got the crossover here, did we? No crossover. I can't tell if we have the crossover there. We are definitely below. We do have the 1 hour. Need the 1 hour. 1 hour from my perspective here yet. But we're below the 50 simple on the 1 hour chart, below negative 200, 1 hour chart. Percent K starting to hook down on percent K, right? So very strong readings to the downside here. Bearish candle. We've got some bonus components here. Bearish candle forms the opening range. 5-minute candle, strong, very strong break below the opening range. Does it come back? I don't know. Let's see. It is heading for the very first ADR checkpoint here. Oh my goodness. It might hit that ADR checkpoint. And if it does, well, that's the end of the game right there. That's going to be the end of the game. Maybe that is where it wants to start moving back up, but that's too big of it's too big of a risk right now to buy this down here, and that is this rally base rally here on the 3-hour chart. What's that look like? Get rid of this, get rid of that. 1-hour chart, what's that looking? What is that on the 1 hour? How about the 30-minute? 30-minute, okay, kind of just looks like a rally base rally. Let's see. Rally base rally right here. Where are my ADR checkpoints? Oh, right there. There's ADR checkpoint number 1 right inside of this rally base rally on the 30-minute. What's it look like on the 1 hour? Rally base rally on the 1 hour as well. Okay, so I don't know what it wants. Look how close here it comes. Here we go. It is, I don't know about a retest. You want to go long on that? I mean, yikes. I don't know about that. And what is that? Did it hit it already? 23. Yeah, it did. It hit already. Hit ADR already. 23,143. It is below the first ADR and still going. So we've hit that ADR. 23, 144. There we go. 23, 144. That's the very first ADR checkpoint. Broke out to the downside, ripped through the demand zone. See, even though that demand zone was so amazing looking, I mean, look at how amazing that demand zone was. Just take a look at this thing. Look at this demand zone here on the 30-minute chart. Right here. This right here. Look at this thing. Look at the move out. Look at the move out breakout of that. Drop, base, rally, rip to the upside, rip through all of this. That's a very strong demand zone. And I'm looking at that, just waiting for this. And it just came back, didn't hit. And on this move up, broke a little bit past here, previous structure high. We had all our conditions met for the upside. And then I noticed that 5-minute extended trend and said, aha, this is probably going to come back here rapidly, which it did, hit this area, and then make the move to the upside. And I was right about everything except for it did not want that demand zone. That demand zone did not hold right there. That demand zone did not hold. So we had all of our conditions met right around here, 5-minute extended trend. Okay, let's get in one contract right here, see what happens, right? Started to move back up and we said, oh, it must want that demand zone. It's not this demand zone, it's this one over here. We got in, worked for a couple of seconds, continued down. Okay, it does want this demand zone. Oh, this is the demand zone. This is the demand zone. And then boom, rips through that, right? It's the demand zone guessing game, the demand zone guessing game. And that's why we didn't go all in. We took a couple of shots. One micro contract on the first demand zone didn't work. One micro contract, second demand zone, ripped through that, and we said, okay, that's it, right? So we didn't turn it into some kind of disaster, right? We didn't turn it into a disaster. And that's what you've got to do. You cannot turn your trades into a disaster. And so it didn't work, and we took a chance at it. But again, it was outside the strategy. So those techniques, imagine doing those techniques on gold and silver and crude oil and whatever else, very, very difficult when you don't have the data on that. But what do we have the data on? We've got a ton of data and a ton of proof of concept trades when you have that trend cloud opening range breakout strategy, right? So 3-hour CCI above the zero line, 1-hour CCI above the zero line. Price action is above the 50 simple in a nice uptrend on the 1-hour. Those three basic components, right? Those three basic components. CCI 3-hour, CCI 1-hour above the zero line. Even if it's above 100, it's even better. Must be in an uptrend on the 1-hour chart, right? Bonus component, cycling up. Bonus component, bullish candle forms the opening range. Bonus component, 5-minute candle closes above the opening range. Breakout, close, break above, close above opening range. Those bonus components with the basic components, you got yourself a winning trade there. And again, it's eliminating the where and the when, right? Where do you take the trade? You take the trade right at the opening range, right? Right at the breakout of the opening range. When do you take it? 9:45. So a little review of what we do. Very important to do that in each, in each live session, I think. So this little, this little thing that we did today, kind of outside the opening range, but it made logical sense. We put everything that we learned together, right? Put it all together. Okay, 5-minute candle was extended. the trend, 5 minute. We knew it had to come back and recalculate. Where's it going to do that? Oh, there's that beautiful demand zone right here. Surely that must be the area, right? And what do we have here? Now, what is the problem with going long right here? Well, breakout to the downside. Very strong readings on CCI. We know what happens when we're in a downtrend, right? 1 hour chart, downtrend, below, right? We are below negative 200. Oof, whoa. Below negative 200, below negative 100 on the 4 hour. My goodness. What do we do if this comes all the way back up to here to this, to this supply zone here, or it comes back shallow, right? To the look at how the opening range is right in line with that 5 minute. Let's go to the 15 right here. That supply zone that we drew out on the 5 minute chart is right in line with our 15-minute trend cloud right there, the light blue lines there. It is right in the pocket there. Do we take that? Do we take that short? Well, by the time this gets back up to here, what kind of readings are we going to have? Is that going to bring CCI above the zero line? We would have to see. But it's the move, if we had all our conditions met pre-market, we would have taken the breakout to the downside, but we didn't have all of this, right? So when you see your conditions form during the process of the opening range, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because as it's forming, it could switch, right? It could switch like it did here, right? Like it did here, and it switched. So not a terrible loss, right? Not a terrible. Keep the losses small. Anything outside of your strategy, keep it small. Keep it small. One micro contract, two micro contracts. Just keep it small. And then when you've got that spectacular setup, you got to take the risk either on the full five contracts or you take it one contract on the full NASDAQ, right? That's how we made 6 to 8,000 for the month on the Leap day trading competition. That's how we did it in the competition. That's how I did it, right? When I saw all conditions met, trade the full contract of the NASDAQ, right? So still on track to pass the combine. Sarah, are you in here? Is Sarah in here? Who's in here? Eddie.